Today we're going to answer a big question around a small keyboard, the microKORG. It's been in production for 22 years, like forever. That's like many generations of synth. I would consider this vintage gear. And the big question is this keyboard still worth thinking about owning or, even using?
So what is it? The microKORG is a virtual analog synth that is designed after the micro preset, but built off of the MS-2000, which was a virtual analog synth that everybody now forgets about. That was built to harken back to the iconic MS-20 of the late 70s. And there's a few versions of this synthesizer out there. There's the Crystal S, I believe, which is the latest version, but they still do sell this original version, as I understand it. And the Crystal S has like onboard speakers. It's a little bit more of a toy, although it's more expensive. This synthesizer, is really small. It runs off batteries if you want it to. It has a vocoder, but the vocoder kind of sucks. It's not to be confused with the microKORG XL, which is built off of the Radius and is kind of different technology, although they fit very much into the same space. But we're looking at the original microKORG, and this one is probably about 20 years old, and it's a little bit jacked. I bought it broken and have been repairing it. Got the volume to actually work, and the only thing that's not working is the B patch selector. So while I can play 64 of the sounds, I cannot do the B sides. But the B sides always suck, right? But what you're getting here is a lot of really basic synthesis where you have the ability to change the wave, the pitch, the voice. You've got a really good filter on here. Pretty great for tweaking on the fly as you're playing, which is why like every indie band in the world has one of these somewhere. The arpeggiator kind of is a little bit underdeveloped, but that's okay. I think it's also a little bit confusing because you have 5 knobs to play with, but you have 2 different selectors for editing, as well as the program selector, which is broken up into some really funny names like trance, techno, electronica. I think everything's electronica. Hip hop and vintage, retro. I'm not sure what the difference between retro and vintage is. And then there's a whole section devoted to sound effects, which is annoying. And then the vocoder section, which I think is like almost useless on this keyboard. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't ever been able to have a good use of that, having used this keyboard for the better part of 20 years. So what about sound? This is a virtual analog synth. It's not a true analog, so it does have some, defects or imperfections there. However, it does sound very good. Low range is pretty poor. It's not a bass synth, but for those low, not super low, to mid range, I think it does fit well into a mix, and it is a great sounding keyboard, and it's built off of the MS-2000. This was a Korg product that they put a lot of attention into, and I think overall you're getting a good deal of sounds and a great ability to modify your patches appropriately. So on playability, this is a mini key keyboard. It should be micro key, right? But the throw of the keys is really low on the key bed. It's actually kind of surprising and a little bit awkward, but it's okay. It's still playable. And of course, you can use another keyboard with MIDI to control it. We've got full, MIDI out, in, and through on it. That's good. The otherwise, I think the placing of the knobs is all right. I do find that I tend to play more with my right hand and tweak with my left hand, and the knobs being mostly on the right hand side is a little bit off, but it's so small that you can contort your body appropriately to make it work. The other things that I don't think are great is you have an audio line 1/4 inch in, as well as the 1/8 inch in for the microphone. No XLR on this one. That's a little bit of a annoying thing because the Goose microphone that comes with it is kind of shitty, and also the vocoder in general just stinks on this keyboard. So is the microKORG still relevant? Given the lineup of today's Korg product, including the Minilog, the Volcas, the Neo, the Monolog, the microKORG XL, this one definitely feels like trailing technology that they may still be producing because of its name and legacy. Okay, I get it. Is it still worth buying? I don't know if I would spend my $400 to buy a new one today, given the products I just mentioned and the other products made by other manufacturers out there. However, I do think that this is a synth that's still worth paying attention to, and if you find one for a good price on the used market that's not jacked up like this one is, it is a good kind of entry drug into the world of analog synthesis, and it does give you that level of being able to tweak filters and whatnot to make a cool sound if you're performing, or you just need a little bit of filler for your 3-piece, so you guys sound better when you're live. There's a lot to offer here. It definitely travels well. Running on batteries was a good move. It's tiny. It can practically fit in your gig bag. So there's a lot to like about it. There's also, a little bit of just kind of age showing through this piece of equipment that is, it's old enough to drink and drive at this point. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it somewhat useful. And if you do want to subscribe, please do. It helps me know what videos are interesting for you. I'm sure we will be producing a video in the upcoming future to compare this to some other Korg products and to some other synth in its size and price range. So do watch this space. All right, take care.